and welcome. My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have some self-study courses about manifesting your specific person. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I'm bringing you a success story from one of my coaching clients who manifested her specific person back and whose specific person actually repeated all the things that she had intended for him to repeat back to her. It's been a while since I made a video with a success story. Usually I post them in the community page. It tends to be easier and faster. But since I haven't done one in a while, I thought that this was the perfect opportunity to make a success story video. So here it is. This is what we'll be discussing in today's video. Stay tuned. So the background story that my client had when we started coaching together, and we've had maybe 4 or 5 sessions in the last couple of months, was that she and her specific person had met each other. They were very, very attracted to each other. There were feelings from both sides. However, she started having anxiety. She started having doubts. She started having second thoughts about his intentions. She didn't know how much he liked her. She didn't know if his intentions were to commit to her, and so on. And so all these thoughts and all that energy ended up getting transmitted to her specific person, of course, as it always happens. And so her specific person decided to break it off with her, telling her that he was actually feeling too much pressure from her and that he was feeling as if she was depending her happiness on him. Even though, and this is a very important part that I often talk about in videos, she hadn't actually said or done anything in the 3D. If anything, she had actually withdrawn and pulled back a bit in the 3D. But within herself, she was full of anxiety, she was full of nervous energy, she was full of stress, full of doubt about this relationship and this man. And of course, unfortunately, it got reflected back to her in this unpleasant, undesirable way. Now, once she realized what she was doing, once she realized and she started learning about manifesting, and she understood that her own energy, her own inner world, her own dominant states actually get reflected by other people, she realized that she had unwillingly created that situation with her SP. And so what she started doing was that she took time to take care of herself. She took time to stabilize her state. She took time to stabilize her nervous system. And with the coaching we did and the inner practice that she followed, she had several affirmations for him. She did inner conversations with him. She was also listening to a custom subliminal that I made for her. And overall, all this inner practice, all this inner work resulted in her feeling better and better and better and much more calmer in her state. So she got to a point where she was actually feeling very calm, very secure, very certain and very sure that her specific person was coming back. She got to the point where she had that positive expectancy that her specific person was going to come back to her. And indeed, after I think our second session, she started seeing some movement where her SP at the time was taking a trip abroad, and he sent her a text and pictures showing her what he was doing and telling her that he was thinking about her. Now, my client responded. They had a very short exchange. However, because at that text, he didn't really say anything about getting back together, and because he was the one who had broken it off, her preference was that he should be the one to ask for the rekindling of the relationship. And so after that first movement, after that first text, she didn't really do anything other than respond in a very nice, very warm way. And then all she did was continue her inner practice, continue with her mental diet, continue with aligning your state with what she wanted and with her desire to be back together with that person. And like I said earlier, she reached a point where she felt certain and secure and in the inner knowing that her person was coming back. And indeed, within a few weeks, he actually texted her. And what she had intended was that he was going to text her, "I miss you, can we meet?" And you guys, this is exactly verbatim to the last word what he texted her. "I miss you, can we meet?" And so from that moment on, from that point on, they have rekindled their relationship. They're now back together. She is much more confident in her self-concept. She is much more confident in herself. She's feeling much calmer. She's in a much better state mentally and emotionally. She's feeling much more stable. And of course, things are progressing again. The relationship is back in her life. And she's now intending for his full commitment, which, if she stays in that state, I have no reason to doubt that it's going to come. So the secret, as always, which isn't really a secret, is that my client changed her state. She changed her dominant inner energies from what she had right before they broke up, where she was anxious and doubtful and questioning everything and questioning the person's intentions, to a relaxed, secure, confident state where she knows that her specific person is hers. He wants her, he's choosing her every day, and he wants the relationship and he wants the commitment with her. And of course, the important thing to highlight here also is that the inner work, the inner practice never really stops. It's not that you get your desire and then you stop and you go back to your old self, because if you do that, the old story is going to catch up with you again. So she's continuing her inner practice, she's continuing with her intentions, she's continuing with her inner work, keeping her baseline state good, keeping her self-concept high, keeping the trust in this relationship at high levels. And as I said, things are going great with her SP, who is now back in her life, and they're back to being in a relationship. So it's not any big secret, you guys. It's all in your states. It's all in your energies, your dominant perceptions of your reality, dominant assumptions, dominant expectations. Remember what I said about this client? She got to a point where she was expecting for her SP to come back. She knew that he was going to come back. She had that certainty. She had no rush for him to come back. She was even thinking that, oh, maybe it should be in a month or two so that I have time to lose a few pounds. And she even told me that she was surprised how fast he came back, because in her mind, she kept thinking that maybe I need a little more time. So in other words, she wasn't stressing out about time at all. She was actually in the opposite state of feeling like she needed more time. But the important point is that her baseline state, her dominant state, was aligned with what she actually wanted. It was aligned with the feeling of feeling secure, the feeling of knowing that her person wants her and wants to be back together with her. She was feeling loved. She was feeling the love towards him, and she was calm, living her life, and just having that positive expectancy without any rush and without any attachment to time that it was going to come. And this is also why it came so fast. So I hope this story has inspired you, motivated you to work towards changing your state, because that is what manifests. That's the important thing when it comes to manifesting an SP or really anything else. And I hope and intend that all of you manifesting a specific person also have a similar experience soon. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.